there's a couple things that are taking place. One, we're rounding the turn into the month of September. We got just under 2 full weeks remaining in August, and then we're in the 4 month home stretch of 2025. Many of you had specific goals, outcomes, and I don't know about you, but I've discovered that a lot of people are having a very difficult time with simply sticking to an assignment through to its completion. And there's a lot of energy and excitement at the beginning of anything. That's just natural. It's easy to make a proclamation. It's easy to set a goal. It's easy to have a dream. It's easy to share it, to put it on your dream board, to write it down. It's a completely different dynamic to show up every day, day in and day out, with a complete and utter commitment to take the actions toward the fulfillment and achievement of said goal. It's a different world. And most people are not going to get to that second part of the equation because we live in a world of comfort. We are surrounded by comfort and instant gratification. These two things will destroy you. They'll take you out. They will destroy any ambition, any dreams, anything that's worth suffering for. You won't do it. You just won't do it. You may think you want to do it. You'll talk a big game. But when it comes down to brass tacks and paying the full admission price of success, you're going to beg for a discount. You will look for any outlet that looks like a discount. You won't pay the price because it's just too easy to be comfortable. It's too easy to be distracted. So when you understand that instant gratification is a way of life for most people, and they would rather spend their time digging for likes on social media. They would rather spend their time scrolling for the dopamine hits. They would rather spend their time surfing and being hypnotized by the programming on Netflix or whatever's on the electronic income producer, the idiot box. And so when you are subject to this weapon of mass distraction that I'm communicating to you on right now, and you can get your entertainment from it, you can get communication from it, you can order food from it, you can order clothing from it, you can basically map out your entire week and live it from that thing, that device. And instead of using it, you're allowing it to use you. Then the idea of you not only having a goal, but allowing that goal to have you, it doesn't even have the opportunity, doesn't have the space to take place because we are subject to comfort, instant gratification, and I'll add distractions. Think about where you were at the beginning of the year, what you were excited about, that outcome, that goal, that dream, that drive, that vision. How many people start off the year, they say, man, I'm going to get into fantastic shape. I'm going to commit to a workout. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat better. And they'll do it for a period of time. Could be a couple of days, could be a week, could be a month. But by the end of the first quarter, they're back to their normal routines because we have gotten things out of order. I submit to you that if you embrace being uncomfortable, if you embrace delayed gratification, if you embrace doing the daily disciplines that reap multiple rewards, especially when you don't feel like it, your life will change forever. If you are consistent doing these things day in and day out. I'll give you an example. There was a program called Insanity many moons ago, and the program was something you could play at home, and all you needed was a floor, and you could do this workout. And let me tell you something, the workout was freaking insane. Like it was hard. It was hard. It was a beat down. And over time, you would work your way up, and then you would have a physical test, and then you'd work your way up, and you have another physical test. And so the Insanity program, it was just me in the program. There was nobody cheering me on. And there were many mornings I didn't feel like doing it, but I did it because I made a commitment, and I'm going to keep my commitment to my commitment. Well, throughout the course of that program, I think it was 60 days. I think it was 60 days. I injured myself. It wasn't like catastrophic, but it was painful. There was a muscle tear, but I was like, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like I'm not taking any days off. I'm not backing off the program. I'm going to see it through. And even though it was uncomfortable, and even though there were moments, there were mornings where it was painful, I just kept pushing through. And it was just me. There was no one that like there no one knew this, but I needed to prove to myself that I could see it through. And when I finished it, I had such a sense of achievement. And there's a part of your brain, and you may have heard about this. It was on a Goggins. He was being interviewed by this USC neuroscientist. I can't remember his name, but if you on YouTube, it's Goggins and this guy. He's a prominent neuroscientist. He's got a beard, and he's got a lot of pretty good content. But they were talking about this part of the brain, something thalamus, where when you do things that you don't want to do, when you do things that you like that are hard, it grows, like it grows. And it only grows when you do these things. And if you don't do these things, it actually starts to shrink. And I've always been that person that is moved by that. Why am I telling you all this? Because when you understand how the world is set up, and when we live in a world that can be difficult, we live in a world where there's a lot of pain and tragedy. If we try to take in all of the tragedies of this world, we wouldn't be able to get out of bed. And so there's an element of wanting to escape. There's an element of like I don't want to take all that in. Like it's just too much. Like what can I do? What can I do in my world to make the world a little bit better? And so that's one part of it. There's a built-in mechanism where we want fantasy, we want to watch a movie, we want to check out and just do some mindless stuff, right? Well, be careful of that spilling over into your goals and dreams lane of your life. Because what happens is you say you want to lose the weight, but it's hard to eat the right foods every day. It's hard to get up and go to the gym every day, especially when you don't feel like it. It's hard when you say, I have a goal, I want to get this promotion, I have a goal, I want to build this business, I have a goal, I want to learn this new language, I have a goal, I want to take on this new instrument, I have a goal, I want to level up in my relationship, I have a goal, I want to be a better parent, I have a goal, I want to be a better leader. Whatever that task is, it's easy to speak it at the beginning, it's easy to be excited about it at its inception. But following through day in and day out when no one is watching, following through day in and day out when it's really, really, really hard, following through when you're not seeing any results whatsoever. There's nothing you can see. You're doing the work, but it's not happening fast enough. But you have to continuously show up day in and day out. And you have to embrace delayed gratification. You have to embrace being uncomfortable. You have to embrace the suffering of it. This is where I really got this from Goggins, like the understanding of it, like the level of it when he talks about suffering. I knew that there was a point to things being difficult. Like when you take the new class And if it's I've done yoga, I've done Pilates, I've done CrossFit, I've done boot camps, and there's a point where it's really hard, and your body is shaking, and your muscles are trembling, or your lungs are burning. You feel that acid building up, and you're saying to yourself, "Why the heck did I allow myself to get involved with this? Like I want to quit, I want to stop." And you start looking around, like, "Is anybody else going to stop? Because I want to stop. Maybe I'll just stop for a little bit and then I'll come back." No, no, just keep pushing through. And there's these little tiny moments in that workout, in that class that you took, in that new learning that you're undertaking, where it's very uncomfortable and you're asking yourself, how the hell am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to get through this? We all have those moments. And it's what you decide in those moments when you're most vulnerable, when you feel most naked, and you feel like a complete idiot. You feel totally incompetent. You feel like, I'm not going to be able to finish this. It's in that moment of decision where you say, well, okay, just hang on. Just one more. Okay, just one more minute, just 60 more seconds. Let me just hang on for one more moment. Let me just turn the page and keep reading, and let me write some more notes, and let me go back and review it, and it's in those moments that we begin to forge ourselves, and we really begin to make progress toward fulfilling that goal, that dream, because we're not going to check out. It's easy in that moment to say, yeah, yeah, I'll try it again tomorrow. Let me turn on Netflix. I'll try it again tomorrow. Let me get on Facebook. I'll try it again tomorrow. Let me scroll. I'll try it again tomorrow. Let me find some instant gratification. Give me that cookie over there. Let me have some ice cream. Let me go ahead and give me some fried food. I'll feel better when I eat it because I'm an emotional eater anyway. And then I'll start again tomorrow. Fresh start tomorrow. Does it? Ladies and gentlemen, the process is where you need to fall in love. The process, the most difficulties, it is who you are on your worst days. It's who you are in the midst of your suffering. It's who you are when things are not moving as quickly as you want them to, when the checks are not flowing like you want them to, when you're not hitting your targets when you thought that you would. It's who you are and how you show up then that's going to determine the size and the scope of your goals and your dreams, the size and the scope of your impact. Who you are on your worst days determines the quality of your best days. And if you can be fully present, fully committed on your worst days, man, I'm telling you, on the other side of that is powerful. Who you are on the other side of that, who you become in that process, you wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So as we're moving into these final 4 months of the year, you may need to go back and recalibrate some of the goals and some of the dreams that you initially had, and maybe you got off course. Maybe you did get distracted. Maybe you allowed life to get in the way. I remember this quote: professionals stick to a schedule. Amateurs allow life to get in the way. That's the difference. Professionals stick to a schedule. Amateurs allow life to get in the way. When your goals and your dreams are non-negotiable and you're willing to keep your commitment to your commitment, especially when you don't feel like it, that is when you give yourself a real opportunity for transformation. That's when you get a chance to experience true growth. That's when you have the opportunity to live the life of your dreams, to achieve your goals, to earn the income that you feel that you're worth, to have the impact that you want to have. That's when those things start to come together, not before. Not before. Stop looking for the hacks in life, right? Everybody wants the formula. I want to get this thing. If I get this program, it's going to help me explode my business in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I just I, I'm sure somebody has had some luck and some of the stuff has come together. That's not how it is for most people. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Um, Anything that's worthwhile, it takes time. You can't have a baby in 30 days. You can't have a beautiful transformational life in 90 days. It takes 9 months. 9 months. Sometimes it's a little sooner, right? You hit your target sooner. Sometimes it's a little bit later. Hit your targets a little bit later. But you can't mess with that process. There's a reason it takes a while for the caterpillar to form into the butterfly. It's a process. If you mess with it and you get in there too soon, you're going to kill it. If it takes too long, it's going to die. There is a divine timing to this, but you create your divine timing by how you show up every day. Can you show up every day with enthusiasm and a good attitude and a good work ethic and put in the work and keep your commitment to your commitment, even though you're not seeing those results, even though you're being seduced by comfort and instant gratification and distraction? That's how people get off course. That's how people get in trouble. Don't be that person. I'm telling you, you got to fall in love with the day to day. You got to fall in love with the daily disciplines that reap multiple rewards. You got to fall in love with being by yourself, going through the struggle by yourself. If you have some people that are rocking with you and they're just as committed as you are, God bless you. Rock with them. Leverage that energy. But if you don't, you still got to do what you got to do. And you can extrapolate energy and good message and some good word from some content. There's plenty of content to support your outcome, your successful outcome, whatever your goal or dream may be. But I'm telling you, it's in the day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Play the freaking long game. Stop being so short-sighted. Stop looking for the dopamine hit. Stop looking for the instant gratification. Start playing the long game. Start falling in love with the delayed gratification. Start falling in love with being consistent day in and day out and measuring your progress, holding yourself accountable, raising your standards, and putting in the work day in and day out, week after week, month after month, year after year. Watch what happens. Watch how you start to separate yourself. Watch what happens. I'm telling you. Get back to work. Day in and day out. Fall in love with the process. If you like this message, share it. Click like and subscribe. Pass it on. Let's keep spreading the good word. 3 things that will destroy you, that will absolutely kill your goals and your dreams and put you on the couch of life. Instant gratification, distractions, and comfort. Fall in love with delayed gratification. Fall in love with the daily disciplines that reap multiple rewards. Fall in love with keeping your commitment to your commitment. And watch how your life and your ability to impact and transform the lives of others, watch what happens. It's so worth it. And you are so worth it. And your goals and your dreams are too.